Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll talk to you again at halftime, but for the call of this one, let's send it out to our EA Sports broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway from Atlanta. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the third overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Always knew he'd be a gym rat, very cerebral player, a guy that beats you with his mind as well as his physical attributes. But the best part, poise under pressure. He knows how to bring a team back in the fourth quarter.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The defense here for the Rams.
Aaron Donald's dimensions were talked about big time when he first entered the league. Many called him undersized. Now they just call him all-pro.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. JoJo Natson back deep for the Rams. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. Robert Woods, touchdown LA. Robert Woods, 7 77 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the...
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 to the 34. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So with 4th down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. these guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. The first down run with Gurley, a good one. He gets forward for 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Kenyon Barner, deep for Atlanta. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. They run, Devontae Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Watch the out. Watch the out.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Ryan. This complete to Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy, and who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
On the draw, this will be Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw is Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did.
Ready, blue 80, 525. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan. And he hits his target. This is Luke Stalker. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Here we go.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Stop right there. 4 down.
Back to the running game. It's Freeman. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now it's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 20-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Ryan now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Here's Ryan. Caught by Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
In your face.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Falcons have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A run with Gurley there on first down. Going to get about 4 yards. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time, we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
From the gun, here's Goff. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Here's Natson. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Rams on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Goff. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Goff. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Oh, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Freeman. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Rams on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Mike, check.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And that is incomplete.
Y'all playing.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Oh, little 360. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ryan now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Ryan. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Goff. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now, that'll be caught by Kupp, and he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. A Ram 1st down as Goff finds Kupp.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's
go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the slant.
Out of the gun, Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Rams on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. They needed a yard. They got it. 1st down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Goff's throw taken in by Reynolds. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Throw left side, complete to Cup. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still
No yards.
yardage. Okay.
To the air again. Goff. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Goff. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me
I
there,
was.
partner.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
after the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 37 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
No, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So two thoughts come to mind. One, get some oxygen. Fill up your lungs a little bit. And number two, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. 4 down. 4 down.
Looking to throw again on second down. Ryan. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
On 1st down, gone. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is gone. And that one's complete to Gurley. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Goff. This is caught. It's Cooks. 1st down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Goff throwing again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Goff. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Again, Goff. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Let's get it.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone,
out there now to send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. He's done his part, but so far it's been in a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
but that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
But so far, he's north of 100 yards receiving. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out on the the field. Here comes Los Angeles. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now gone. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and 5.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun snap for Goff. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Like 20.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Takk McKinley made his way into the backfield.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now Greg Zuerlein. We all remember the 57-yarder that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready to go.
Now it's Freeman. They find some open field here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
White 25!
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Hooper, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Falcons have retaken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. his second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. He's got it, and it's now a 21-16 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 3rd and 2, Goff. And that's complete to Cooks. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Goff now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now a 1st down throw. Goff. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This from 54 yards away. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here, you're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Throwing again on second down. Ryan, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Ryan. Jones has it. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's continued to play well in the 3rd quarter. Now they've got the lead after trailing at halftime, so he's just looking, I guess, to continue the same recipe.
I agree totally, and you know you can get it done without your quarterback playing well, but it's so much harder to do when he's playing well.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Ito Smith, his first carry, and he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's Matt Bosher now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the gun, Goff. He gets it to Cooks. Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks, 60 yards, and the Rams are once again going to retake the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Again, it's Smith. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Now Natson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
They'll wind up with 7 on the dump off, but it'll set up 3rd down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Tonight, 180.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that 1st down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done.
We go tonight. 120.
59. Like the 59. Hey, 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 hey.
Gurley again here on 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
We go. 20.
Check. No.
Throwing on third. Goff. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 25-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Like 20.
Like 59. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On 1st and goal, Gurley. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd and goal, Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Goff's pass complete to number 17, Robert Woods. Touchdown.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 10-play drive that time, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go, here we go. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Ryan. It's hauled in by Hardy. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. To throw again is Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Ready, you ready? Mike's part 4. Focus, defense, focus.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Ready? We're ready. Let's go. What's left? What's left? I got it. Ready, Sonata. Ready, Sonata.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Going for it all. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On the draw, this is Smith. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
Here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick is indeed good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Like 20. 45.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here's Gurley. Fights him off. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. From just shy of midfield, Goff. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 37. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. To the air again, gone. And he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
For the field goal, a 57-yard attempt.
And that will line up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. And here now come the Falcons. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
That goes for a gain of 31.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Aaron Donald getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the three. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Right here. Patch it.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Airing it out deep for Woods. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A huge play that time for the Rams. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. From the gun, here's Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Can't fault the offensive line for that incompletion at all. He had all day to throw the football. Their alarm clocks went off early today, didn't they?
Absolutely, they did. He was surveying, finally let it go, but incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Defense, get out the field, defense.
Gone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Ryan will throw again. Jones has it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Again, Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Watch the boot.
Throwing again, Ryan. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 26. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. That one broken up by David Long on the defensive end.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the
pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Aaron Donald. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Ryan. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one is right through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another 1st, but he appears to be a few inches short. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Another carry now for Gurley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. One last shot for Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.